Hey everyone, Travis here at the Fnatic house for another one of my little European profile things on the players. This time it's xpeke. Hello, xpeke.
Hello there.
How's your day been going?
It's been going fine.
Yeah.
I woke up. I washed my face.
Around what time?
Really early.
Yeah, really early?
Yeah, really early.
See, whenever I got here, it was actually early afternoon.
There was still sun there, so it was really early.
Yeah, okay. I got you. I understand.
Like like around noon, 2 p.m.
1 or 2 p.m., yeah. Really early. Anyway, I just wanted to discuss a little bit about, a little bit longer than the normal interviews that we do. And maybe even starting off with, like, how you got into gaming in the first place. So do you remember, like, how old you were when you started playing video games? So maybe what some of your early video games were?
I don't remember how old I was exactly, but I remember I have an older brother, and I remember him playing video games since I have memory, pretty much. So maybe I didn't really play video games when I was super young, but I remember I was watching my brother play a lot of games. And the first games I remember were like, I think which console was it? I think it was Atari or Super NES. One of those two. It was like the first game I ever saw. It was like just 4 pixels moving to some side or something. But yeah, since then I grew up with them. I started to play some of the simple games when I was capable of, and yeah, I have always been surrounded by video games.
When did you first start playing like more competitive style video games? Like, did you play CS or Warcraft 3 or anything like that?
Yeah, I think when I started to grow up a bit, maybe when I was 10, 11, I started to like more these kind of games that they were about competition. Like, you had a character you had to get higher level, be stronger than other people, like RPG games or even MMOs. I think I started with MMOs before anything. I played Counter-Strike and MMOs when I was maybe 11, 12 or something like that. And that's when I realized that what I like the most about games is competition, because I always would play football, FIFA with my brother or something, just because it's cool to be better, or fighting games, and that's how I realized what I like was not just the video game, but to be better than someone at them.
So there wasn't really one like major title. It wasn't like, oh, I started playing CS first or anything like that. You just were sort of playing everything.
I did play CS a lot, but it was not like that game changed. I already had this mentality. I think the game that changed the most for me was maybe when I played Dota, the first one, on the Warcraft, because I was playing a lot of custom games in Warcraft.
Right.
And I started to play that one with friends, and I really liked that. Even though it was the same game, same map, you could build so different every game. You had so many heroes to choose from in that game, and I was like, I really liked the game, and I played a lot, and I think that's what got my attention in these kind of games.
What other things did you play in Warcraft 3 custom maps? Did you play like Footman Frenzy and stuff like that?
I play a lot of Footman Frenzy with my friends in a cafe. We were just playing like, it was like we were meeting there. Maybe we were 3, 4 friends, so we would play all against each other. Sometimes we would be 6 or 7, so we would make like groups 2, 2, and 1 alone or something. And that guy would be like peace for 5 minutes for him and stuff like that. So yeah, I played a lot of them. I played a lot of tower defense as well.
Tower defenses, yeah.
I played so many of them.
Well, like winter malls and that kind of thing.
Yeah, winter malls were super fun, because not a lot of people like them, so we will only be 1 or 2 guys playing them, and that game was super hard when you were only 1 or 2 guys, because you will have like 3 ways for yourself.
Right.
And yeah, I liked all those kind of maps. I was playing custom maps all the time.
Yeah, I had a similar experience as well, playing in LAN centers with friends and playing Warcraft 3 custom maps and all that kind of thing. So you got into Dota. Did you ever play Dota like in any local leagues or anything like that, or online leagues?
No, I play in the Garena server thingy.
Okay.
Garena, like, they had like these rooms, like you had to get levels, and the more levels you get, the more rooms you could enter. That's the only thing. I never played on any league, because I actually didn't have the official game.
Okay.
So so I was.
So
not
you were
able,
borrowing it.
Yeah, I was borrowing it from in the LAN cafe. Yeah. But yeah, I never play on any leagues. I could never measure my level. Yeah.
Did you always play in LAN cafes? You didn't have like your own computer or anything like that?
Yeah, I had my own computer, but I didn't have internet until I was, like, we had it sometimes we didn't, because my mom didn't like it.
Okay.
So we had internet sometime, then she will take it off, then she will put it again, then she will take it.
What made the decision for her in taking it off or whatever? Was it like grades or something like that?
It was a bit more than grades, that she didn't like that sometimes I wouldn't go out or something because, of course, I'm playing with my friends from my house, so I wouldn't have to go and pay in the cafe or something.
Right.
So I would do that, and she would be like, "You're on the PC all day," so
Yeah.
I don't like that. It was not about grades. It was more about me not going out.
Okay.
So
So then you would go out and just go out to a LAN cafe
Yeah.
and sit at the computer anyway.
Yeah, but she was fine because at least you talk with them in real life and not over the chat.
I understand. What is like what was that whole scene like in Spain? Because I'm assuming that you grew up in Spain.
Yeah, I grew up in Spain.
I don't know sometimes, where people.
No, it was. We didn't know anything about esports. We just have like two. It was like this time that LAN cafes started to become really popular. We had like 2 or 3, and we were like just going out. And when we had maybe €1 or something, it was like, oh, let's go play 1 hour at the place. And that's how it was. It was like a place when we're bored of playing football or being out, or it's too hot outside. It's like, okay, let's play there for 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's how it was. We didn't know what esports were. We were just playing random games all day.
You mentioned that you played football. Did you play any other traditional sports?
Mostly football. I play a bit of basketball, but it was not. I liked it, but it was not really my thing. So it was mostly football what I played.
Were you really like competitive or anything in those as well? I found I ask just because whenever I talk to pro players, a lot of times like they played like football or soccer, American football or soccer, baseball, something like that, and were very competitive in it before they got into esports.
No, when I play basketball in a team actually, but like I said, I didn't really like it as much as football, so I played for a month or 2 months, and then I quit. And with football, I never tried it in any team because I didn't really want to go to the place because the football field we would practice on was really far from my house.
Okay.
So either I would walk for 50 minutes or have someone to drive me, and my mom wouldn't be able to drive me all the times. So I was like, no, I cannot really do that and go 4 times a week there, walking 50 minutes. I cannot be asked to do that. So I never joined a team.
So you were playing Dota and LAN cafes. Around what age were you? Is this like, in America we'd call it like junior high or middle school?
Yeah, I think when I started playing Dota, I was 15, 16 probably. Before Dota, I played this map called 3 Corridors. I don't know if you know it.
It sounds familiar.
It's kind of a simple Dota, really simple. 3 straight lines, no jungle.
And this was on Battle.net?
Yeah.
Or like on like Warcraft 3 custom
Warcraft 3, some custom map as well. And it was like the simple Dota map. You had like really basic items, use the spheres and books.
Okay.
And you would just get your hero, go to the lane, kill creeps and fight the other guy because there was no jungle, there was no strategy, no ganks.
Yeah, so it was just like 1v1 lanes essentially. All right, so you were like 15, 16. So you were also in high school at the time. Did you do well in high school? Like, did you get good grades?
Yeah, I was doing fine, decent. I never did super good, like getting A's. Yeah. But in some classes I will get A's. But I was this guy that studies the night before.
Oh yeah,
like
procrastinator guy.
You have an exam at 8 a.m., then I will study the night before, but if the exam was at 12, I will study in the morning.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I will be in class at 8, studying for the exam at 12. So that was working out for me because I was getting enough to pass. Even sometimes I was even getting decent grades or good grades. And it was fine for me. I never had problems with it except the first year of high school that I failed a lot of classes, but then I just managed to study and pass them all.
Why did you struggle the first year of high school?
Because when I was before high school, it was really easy, like I said. I never studied or did homework.
Right.
And I was just studying before the exam. Just by paying attention in class and studying 1 hour before the exam, I will get like 6, 7 over 10. And I was like, whatever, that's enough for me. I don't need more.
Yeah.
And then you go to high school and you need to do a lot. And
it gets way more difficult.
I remember the first weeks I was like kind of into it. So I was paying attention, doing some homework, and I got good grades. And I was, this is not hard. And then I started to skip classes, to go out with friends, to just not pay attention in classes, not do any homework. And I realized at some point I was lost in some of the classes. Like they were talking about stuff and I was like, what are they talking about? Like this is crazy. And I failed a few classes, but I managed to just study. Like when the year is over, before summer, we have like I don't know how you call it, recovery exam or something.
Yeah, like the big exam at the
big
end,
exam. So I studied for that one and I managed to pass and it was all fine. But my mom didn't really like it then that much.
What were you good at in school? Like like were you more like a math guy or were you more in like literature or something like that? You know.
Yeah, more not math. In math, I was fine. More physics than math. I was
Okay.
really good in physics, and we had like this. I don't know how you call it in English, but this architecture class where it was about drawing and math together.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, technical drawing, I think you call it in Spanish
Right.
or something like that. And I was really good at that one because that one was really easy when you get the idea. And I really liked it because I was listening to the teacher. He will explain stuff, and it will be cool that with math you could make a cool drawing and it will fit what
Yeah.
you wanted to do. So I was really good at that one and physics mostly.
Now, what were you like? We'll loop back into the gaming thing in just a second, but I'd love to know, like, all right, so you're in high school. Were you thinking about maybe what you would do after high school?
What I was thinking, not really. I was just thinking I will start college. I just hope I have enough time to play some video games sometimes and to go out with friends on the weekends. That's all I was worried about. I was like hoping it wouldn't be too boring in university, that I will get to meet new people, be friends with them, and like I said, just have fun. Like.
So now I know, because I've been here, it seems like a lot of your life is playing video games and going out with friends. And so it's like you've fulfilled your dream now. And has that always been pretty much the big thing for you, like throughout your life? It's like high school, even now, it's just like I just want to play video games and hang out with friends.
Yeah, it's really simple. When I was 16, 17, like you have this kind of age where you are lost and you don't know what to do. I was thinking, what am I gonna do when I'm 30 or 40? And I was just thinking, I just hope I have a decent job that allows me to work not too much, and when I arrive home I can play video games and just do whatever. That was how I thought my life would be really good when I was 30.
All right, so then so you're playing Dota, you're like 15, 16. How did that get to you playing League of Legends? Like,
yeah, I didn't play League of Legends for the competition, but I remember I was playing Dota and Counter-Strike a bit. But I started to watch some, not streams, but you could download the replays of the professional games at that time, and
like you could get like an audio file that you play with it,
So you could do that, and I started to watch some Dota games, some Counter-Strike professional games, and I was like looking at these players and be like, wow, that's super cool that they are so good at it. And I wanted to be like that in Dota, but I was still young. There was a lot of people playing too many hours a day, and I was playing 3-4 hours maybe. Sometimes when I had a free day, I would play maybe 6-7 hours. But once every month. So I couldn't get that good. And then a friend of mine saw me this game, League of Legends, in the LAN center, and at first I didn't really like it. I was like, I don't know, it's really simple. I started to play Nunu. I felt a lot because I didn't know the ultimate had a cast animation. I would just press and move and do no damage, and like, this hero sucks, this champ. And I just started to play League. I didn't even know it had any competition on it, and I just kept playing it, and I liked it. I found this OP build with Ashe. I was just playing Ashe mid every game. 400 games, I think.
That was back when you would play Ashe mid.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. AD carry would go mid.
Yeah. So I would just play her mid, farm, max E for more gold, and then farm. And at minute 30 or something like that, I would have 3-4 items, and I would just kill everyone. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
That's a strategy I know some AD carries still use to this day. Is to just farm, and then wait 30 to 40 minutes to kill people.
Yeah, it actually evolved like that. Like it changed a bit, but now it's back to the same. Now they do it in bottom lane instead of mid.
What? All right. So what point was this? This like beta or just right after the game came out?
My first games were in beta, but like I said, I didn't like the game that much. So I kind of stopped playing. Also, one of the reasons why I didn't like the game that much was because I installed it at my house, and at my house I installed the American client.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know there were two clients, but
so you're playing on like horrible ping.
I was playing super bad at my house. I had different level than what I would play with friends because it was another account, and I would be like, I don't get it. Why is it? This is so retarded. I'm not gonna play anymore. But then I figured out that I had the wrong server, and I started to like the game more a bit after the game came out. I think it was on, I don't know, 2010, almost in Christmas of 2010. Yeah, something like that. I started to play the game more. I started to like it, and I played a lot, and I realized that there were some small online tournaments, and I tried to watch them. I didn't get into them because I was still really bad, but I tried to watch them, and all these tournaments for the first WCG
Yeah.
started to show up, and they made some announcements, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool that they had these tournaments. And it's when I started to get really into the game, when I found out that I could watch people that was better than me play and stuff like this.
Do you remember any, like, were there any streamers or anybody in those tournaments that you saw play and you, like, remember and kind of look up to at the time or anything like that?
I remember the stream was not so popular at that time. I think when I started playing, there were no streams at all. But at some point, Hotso started streaming, Wicked started streaming, and maybe a few more guys started streaming. There were like 4 or 5 streamers I will watch sometimes. And yeah, I remember them because I will also watch the ladder, and these people will be like really high on the ladder. So I will watch them and try to, more than learn from them, I will copy their builds. Like sometimes I will open the game, check what they are building on what champion, and then I will be like, okay, I'm gonna play a champion and do what he did.
Okay.
So
that's kind of cool.
I kind of did that at first because, yeah, when I started playing this, I remember especially Wicked, he was already really high elo, and he was on a good team. So I was really thinking that it would be cool to be like him one day. Yeah.
So when did you start actually competing?
Yeah, at first, when all these tournaments got announced, ESL started to make national tournaments, like in Spain, at least in Spain.
Okay.
ESL Spain made some online cups that the price would be 20 euros riot points, which was crazy good for me.
Yeah.
So I started to.
And you get the Rise, like the Rise.
Yeah,
skin?
you will get the Rise trophy. I remember when I got the first one, I was super happy.
Yeah.
After that, I got like 7 more of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started to play with a full Spanish team because my English was not that good at that time. It's still not that good, but at least now I manage.
I mean, I think you're doing a long form interview. I think you're in English. I think you're good.
It's decent, good enough.
Yeah.
But I remember I wouldn't be able to speak. I was also really shy to speak it. So I would play sometimes duo with someone that speak English and go on TeamSpeak and just say a few words and listen and say a few words. So I wouldn't talk that much. But yeah, with this Spanish team is where I started to play differently than in solo queue. In solo queue was really easy. I got really high in solo queue. But it was a lot different than in Pre-Med. I tried with many teams and it was super hard to play as a team. But with this Spanish team, I just learned to play better, to move around the map, to face really good people. And at some point, I remember some other teams from international teams would ask me to try for them, to play for them, because of course they didn't know I was in a Spanish team and it was not a big deal anyways. And they saw me in solo queue and they were like, this player is good, so let's try him. And that's how it started pretty much.
What teams were those?
Well, they were not known. Like one of them was called Niklas team, I remember. This is the first team I played with Cyanide.
Okay.
Before we even played on Fnatic or the first team we joined, we were playing on the same team with some random dude from solo queue made a team with solo queue players, and Cyanide and I were there.
So did you know him already before you got on this team, or is this how you guys met each other?
Cyanide and I met a bit before on solo queue because both of us were really high on the ladder. We were like top 10 all the time. And that's how we met in solo queue randomly. When we joined that team, it's the first time we talked by voice.
Okay.
And that's how we met. And a few months after that, I was never really thinking I would get into a good team, but a few months after that, I got an offer by this thing. It was called Top Elo at that time, just random name organization. The owner was Wet Dream.
Okay.
I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, later on, Absolute Legends.
Absolute Legends. Yeah. And in that team, there were some famous players I knew at that time, and Wicked was one of them. So Wicked was actually leaving the team. That's why they were getting me and Cyanide and someone else, because 2 or 3 players were leaving. But I remember I knew Wet Dream, I knew Priest was there, We Will Failure, Wicked, Pingu, some famous players at that time. And even though 2 or 3 of them were leaving, Wicked one of them, I was really happy that they would want to try me for that team. So of course I said yes, I want to try, and that's how I got into the team that later became Fnatic, pretty much.
So that team then, so you were on that team and then Fnatic later picked it up?
Yeah, we went through many organizations. We were Top Elo, then we joined some random organization that wasn't even an organization. It was no money, no nothing, that you would just give us a TeamSpeak. Yeah. Then we joined My Revenge, and then after that we will join Fnatic, yeah.
So how did this team, like what happened to form the team that would later on go to Season 1?
It was different. At that time, teams would have 7, 8 members because it was no money, no salaries, no nothing. You better have many members that are good, that you have fun with, and you swap between games. You don't care. So we will just we were 7 or 8 players, 7 players. Then we got Suse and we were 8. And I think after that we made some changes. One of the players quit the game and another one got kicked. So we were only 6 at some point. And yeah, when we played the first tournament, IEM Invitational, we were 6 members at that time. And I remember we were thinking about it. What if we make it to season finals and stuff? Who's going to play? Who's going to be there? And that's when we started to have troubles because we were more than 5.
Right.
And of course, at that point, everyone wanted to play.
It's kind of like this awkward feeling where it's like...
Everyone kind of ignored it at some point, but yeah, we all wanted to play because we all thought we were good. And everyone kind of felt confident. No, I'm good, I'm going to play, I'm good, I'm going to play, I'm good. But then when it comes to the place, okay, who's going to go? Is when we had some troubles, and after we decided that is when we got the final Fnatic lineup, which we stayed like that for over a year, yeah.
Now, we can sort of fast forward to now. What is it like being on the team with all these guys? Like, I asked Soaz this question before. He gave me his answer, so now I'd love to know yours since you weren't around to hear his.
Okay, I don't know what he said. What did he say?
You'll just have to see.
He said something bad about me
in the video. I'll we'll get to it in a second. But okay. So what? Yeah, just in general, what's it like living with the guys?
Well, it's I'm gonna start from the beginning. I think when we first moved into this house, it was super cool because it was the dream come true pretty much.
This was like a year ago, at the start of LCS.
When LCS first started, we moved here, and it was like, I don't know, like a new experience. You're like, I don't know, kind of like in a movie. You're moving to a new place with these guys that are super cool friends, because I never got to spend more than a step in Korea. We were together for some months, only Candid and the old Fnatic, but I never got to spend more than 1 or 2 weeks with them. So
you were moving from Spain, too.
Yeah, I was moving from everyone was moving from their own country here. And yeah, we moved to an empty house. We had to go buy the stuff at IKEA, build it, and start living together. It was like a new experience every day. Like on the weekends, we just go out and we were like, where do we walk? I remember the first nights we would walk for 1-2 hours, trying to look for something, going to a crappy bar with no one there, drink one beer, like, let's go back home.
Yeah.
So it was super cool. The first month, it was, you will not get bored. It was always something new coming up. And now it's still really cool, but I think it's got to a point that is a lot of routine, which is a bit boring sometimes, because we play, we wake up, we play, we go sleep, we wake up, we play, we go sleep, we wake up, we go sleep, we play, we everything. Oh, that's pretty much what we do. So I enjoy more weekends. It's like when I was in school. Now weekends are really cool because I get to, after LCS, I get to go out with friends and just have fun. Saturdays I get to relax a bit, and it's still really cool, but like I said, a bit too much routine sometimes.
Yeah. Now, I asked Soaz this question to have each of if he could go through the lineup, the other 4 guys, and describe them in person, like describe aspects of them or what he thought of those people. And so he went through the 4 people. So now I'll ask you to do the same thing. And we can start with Cyanide, because I guess you've known him the longest, it seems.
So do you want me to describe them a bit?
Yeah, just describe them, like what you think, how you feel about them, and for people who don't know much about them, like especially behind the scenes, like if you could just describe, each of them, starting with Cyanide.
Okay, I guess. Okay, I can start with Cyanide. Yeah, Cyanide is. It's not. It looks like a cold person because his humor is really sarcastic.
Yeah, really dry. Yeah.
Very dry humor. Yeah, and it looks like a cold person, but he's really a friendly guy. Like probably my best friend for sure. And when you get to know him, you get along really well because he's really nice and he's a super nice person. He's one of the best person I have met. He's the only one or one of the few I can trust with anything I will have, not only in game or anything personal stuff that maybe has nothing to do with even Germany or League of Legends or anything.
Do you go to talk to him at all, like if you ever have like girl problems or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He and my mom and the only 2 that will know most of my problems. Yeah.
Okay. So you hit up Cyanide and then you hit up your mom, or is it vice versa? Mom.
It depends. Sometimes if I want to talk, my mom is not there or something. I'm not gonna call her and just talk to Cyanide, or sometimes the other way around. It just depends. Like I don't have priority on that. I tell them both.
And then I don't know who else, maybe Yellow Star.
Yellow Star is when he joined first, he's really cool because he never gets that. He gets mad sometimes, but he never gets that mad. When in game he gets mad, but I mean as a person in real life, he's always kind of happy and it's easy to live with because he's really clean. He does his thing. He doesn't bother anyone or anything. So it's really cool to live with. He doesn't go out that often with us. That's the only problem.
So let's describe him as like the grandfather of the team.
Yeah, he's
or
like
something.
the grandfather. You know, he's really mature.
Okay.
And yeah, but it's a cool person to live with. You have no problems with him at all.
All right. Reckless, the new guy.
Reckless, the new guy. Reckless is a bit different. I guess he's experimenting what we were when we first joined the house. He will think, I don't know how he sees it. Like, yeah, he plays a lot every day. He's really happy with this thing of waking up, having no mom here to tell you don't play.
Yeah.
You just wake up at 11, 12, play until 11, 12, 1, 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So I think he's experimenting what we experimented at first when we had no authority to tell us you have played too much, stop playing, or don't eat on the PC, eat on the table.
Yeah.
So I think he's going through that right now.
He's just living without any rules. It's just anarchy for him.
Yeah, he's just having every high school kid dream, no?
Yeah.
Like when your parents are not in house for one day and it's the best day of your life. That's what he's going through. And he's a really cool guy, and like I said, still young, but yeah, he's just like we were last year, so I understand how he feels most of the time.
How about Soaz?
Soaz, let me think about it. Need to think for how to describe him a bit.
That's fine.
He's a bit like Sana. He's a cool person. In game, he's really stubborn.
Okay.
But outside the game, he's really friendly and really cool. He's kind of like me a bit. He likes to go out, to listen to music, to just not play so much sometimes. When you have free time, instead of playing one game, he prefers to just go to the sofa, watch something, even watch League of Legends, prefer to watch some streams or something. So it's kind of like that, kind of like me when it comes to that point.
Now, Soaz said that when you first joined the team, you were really calm and kind of, more chill. And this is just me paraphrasing, but he said you were kind of calm and chill, and now you're much more crazy. So I'd love to know if you think that's true, and if so, what happened to make you into the crazy person you are?
I think I said in an interview, I don't say it many times, but I'm this kind of person that is shy at first, but once I open with someone, I'm myself, and myself is really crazy. So normally, when someone just meet me, he might think I don't like them, or they might think I'm really cold, or they might think this guy's an asshole or something, because I'm just really shy. I hear what people think about me a lot, so I'm not gonna say anything I'm not gonna say any joke. I'm not gonna give my opinion without knowing their opinion first, just in case they think bad of me. But at some point, once I know a guy and I know what he thinks, and I know he's not gonna think bad of me because of what I say, is when I'm myself and I start to just be myself and be a bit more crazy and not care what people think, because I don't care what someone I don't know thinks, but like in the street, if some random guy sees me taking my shirt off, I really don't care.
Right.
Same for everything. So that's why once I have confidence with everyone in the team is when I can be myself, because I don't care what someone outside the group thinks.
Now, speaking of you taking your shirt off, the other thing he informed me of is the fact that he thinks he has lost count of the amount of times he has seen you naked.
Yeah.
So I'd love to explore just maybe briefly your obsession with self-nudity. What allows you, or what makes you want to just undress all the time?
It's three things.
Okay, three things, yeah.
One of them is pretty much in Spain, families are really, really close to each other. Like, I don't know, I will live with my mom, I will live with my grandma, with my uncle, with my aunt. Like, one weekend I will go to my aunt and sleep with her, and since I was a baby, she will change me, she will see me naked. So I will get used to a lot of people seeing me naked. Same for friends. You go with friends. I will go to sleep to a friend's house, and my friend's mom will see me naked because I was super young and I was sober, and she will help me or something. And then you get more confident with people you're close with, and that point you don't really see being nude as something bad. Okay. And they're like, who cares? Like, I have a penis. That guy does too. So
yeah, that is true.
It's nothing weird about it. And
Number two.
That's one of them. The other thing is that when I started to play games in Spain, we didn't have AC or anything, so it was super hot. So I will be not even playing games, even watching TV or just being at the house or something. It will be super warm. So either you would, I don't know, put ice on yourself or take your shirt off.
Okay.
So that's why I'm really used to it. You will be at the park with your friends. You will just be shirtless. Some of you will be playing football. You will be playing football shirtless and stuff like this. So it was something really, really normal. When it's hot, you just take your shirt off. So when I was playing video games and the computer I had was like a toaster, it will warm up really hard. I will be really hot, so I will just take the shirt off and play. Well, and the pants as well. I will play in underwear most of the time.
So you're in your mind, you're just in boxers when you play video games.
Yeah.
If you could, would you play the LCS in your boxers?
It's really cold there, but if it was warmer, I would like in.
If you came to NALCS and you could wear Fnatic boxers with the sponsors on there, so you're good.
And my face on the butt.
Yeah. Oh, and your face on the butt. Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would. Sometimes I even take my shoes off a bit to be more comfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
Okay. Third thing, because you said two.
Yeah, and the third thing is that, have you tried to sleep naked ever?
I mean, I don't. This interview is not about me.
Okay, well, okay. But it feels so much better when you sleep naked. You should try once.
No, I mean I have. It's nice,
that's the main reason.
And now thousands of people who see this interview will now know. Yeah, very open here in this Spanish interview. Anyway, all right. So now we've talked about that, and we've gone through the whole team. What do you think? How long do you think that this team will last? I was telling Soaz that I kind of see, in my mind, TSM is a good example of a team that's just been like a very stable roster for a very long time. And even with Reggie stepping out for Bjergsen, like he can still sub in. It's not a big deal. Do you think that that's like a similar situation here for you guys with this team?
I think yes. I think we have come to a point that we are really fine with each other. You know, like getting someone new, unless if someone of us really started to play like really, really bad and was the only reason why we lose. I think maybe it will be different, but every time we lose, it's not only one guy playing bad, maybe one or two play bad and the rest are not playing good as a team, so it's not like that. I think it's kind of like TSM, yeah. If someone stepped down but still played as a sub or something, I think we will still be friends and have no trouble. So I don't know how long we will last. Of course, it depends on everyone's motivation and how we play, but I think we can do fine. Maybe at some point we would lose motivation and not be able to be the best, but I think right now we still have it. Like we want to work hard, and at least when it comes to important tournaments, we want to show to everyone that we can do good.
Now, even with TSM, the community was very aware that there was a lot of tension within the team, even especially before Bjergsen was there and Reggie was there. You know, they'd argue or whatever. Does that ever happen with you guys, or are you guys pretty much chill? Because the only thing we see are pictures of you backdooring the other teammates and that kind of thing. Like what is there anything other than just happiness and smiles and jokes on Fnatic?
Yeah, of course. Sometimes we will argue, but it's mostly about the game. Always, it's not. I don't think we have problems like you were saying. TSN sometimes they will argue about really retarded stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Like we don't have that. Every time we get mad or we have fights, it's after the game, after practice or after tournaments or something. I think that's fine as long as you know how to separate that from life. No, you practice, you get mad, and that's fine. But I think after a few hours, you have to just forget it and okay, once again we will worry about it when we're talking about the game. Now we're doing something else, and I think that's how it is right now. Sometimes we get mad, but after a few hours after the game, we are fine and we even talk about the game, and we are like everyone is like, oh yeah, the thing is I was mad because of this, and I felt like that, or you were doing that, or I was playing bad and I got mad at you because of this. So it's fine. I don't think we fight that much. Yeah.
One of the things that Soaz had mentioned was that he felt as though, like, one of the things that he only felt was an issue with the team was that that oftentimes during practice people don't always take it seriously, or they mess around a lot. Do you think that's like a fair statement?
Sometimes yes, sometimes not. I think it's due to the practice we do. I'm more of a fan of doing few hours practice, then break, few hours practice, but sometimes we play so many games in a row that it's just impossible, because let's say you play 6-7 games versus the same team and you win 3-4 of them kinda easy because of course the other team might not be playing serious either.
Right.
The fifth game you're like, oh, I don't know, it's so easy.
Try something random.
So I'm gonna try something new, or I'm gonna try to dive this guy and see if I can kill him, and then it doesn't work out and you lose and people get mad, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's a scrimmage still. Of course, if you want to play serious every game, we should play like a tournament. Let's just do a best of 3, and if we win 2 games, we stop. And then it can be more serious than playing 7 games, and even though you won 5, you still know you had to play 2 more hours. I think that's what makes us sometimes not play so serious.
What do you see, like, how long do you see this team being together for? Like, do you see it lasting 3 or 4 years, or, I mean, how long do you think that you guys will be together?
Like the 5 members, you mean? Or
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Or even 5 or even 4.
Making
Like,
a
maybe
change sometime.
one
like
person will retire.
Like it has been in the last year.
Yeah.
One player something.
Yeah, how long do you think that, like, the core of the team will stay the same at the very least?
I think it will last. I think it can last this year with no problems. Next year it will depend a lot. I think if we move to another place, because I think, I don't know, like I said, change is the thing that motivates me the most, and I think everyone. If we move to some other place, I think we will be fine, because it makes it a lot different. But LCS is making it really, how do you call this? Like always the same.
Yeah.
It's really always the same. So maybe if it keeps going like this with LCS and less international tournaments, it might just be 2 more years or something like that. Because at some point, for me, for example, I have played for really a long time, and the only tournaments I'm really motivated for is international tournaments. When I get to play people that people say is better than me and I never face, that's when I really get motivated. And LCS, I get motivated the first times, but once I have faced a team many times, it loses interest a bit. So.
Now, when you say, like, move someplace else, do you mean move to, like, a different region, like compete in NA or Korea or something like that?
Either that or even moving to another city will be enough for me. I think.
So, like, if EU LCS was like...
Just a change, so at least some part of my life is different.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now LCS is the same, then I come back to the house and it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
But maybe if we were in another place, going out in new places, meeting new people, it could make it a bit different as well. So I think a small change will already help me a lot.
Could you, if they weren't going to change and you're like, this is going to be the same year, and let's say like an NA team approached you and was like, hey, we want to Bjergsen you, would you consider doing that ever?
It will depend on the team and the situation. I would, but I would have to know the players on the other team, because I don't want to end up going to a team that I'm gonna be frustrated with, or I'm not gonna be friends with. Because imagine I moved there and then I don't like my team, or we are not friends, and we play and then I go to my room and I'm there just doing nothing. So I will have to know them a bit. I think I will consider it if I was bad with my team at that point, or not bad, but maybe not motivated with my team and I wanted a change. Yeah.
Let's say you're able to find change and everything's cool and you don't get bored. How many more years do you see yourself playing League of Legends? I think
I can still play it for, like, being completely realistic, 2 years. I think I can play it. After that, I don't know, because it's too much more. If you said, I find motivation all the time, I think I can play for 3-4 years. But it's hard to tell, because it's harder to look at more than 1 year from now. I don't know how am I gonna be in 1 year. Right now I know how am I gonna be during this year, but maybe in 5 months something changed and I feel like I don't want to play more, or something changed and I feel like I don't want to stop doing this ever.
Right.
So.
What would you do after you stop playing League of Legends? Do you have anything in mind?
I don't really think about it. Sometimes I thought about it, because right now in the situation I like my team a lot, so I would be like, it would be super cool if I could stay with them.
Coach
not a sub, but like a 6 player. I don't know how I would do, but with practice you can learn. So I think as an analyst or coach or something like that, it could help. I know I will help them a lot with anything I could, and right now I would like that when I think about it, but I never really think about my future right now. So.
Okay, so you're just more living in the moment.
Yeah, I always did that since I was younger. I never worried about the future. The future will be fine.
Yeah.
Just worry about now.
So it'll unfold somehow. Have you ever thought, even if you don't think necessarily like, oh, what am I going to do in the future? Have you ever thought about like, oh, maybe I could cast, or maybe I could work at Riot as a designer, or anything like that?
The casting thing, I think it can be really fun, but I don't think it's my thing. I will need a lot of practice. I will need to improve my English a lot. So I don't really I think it's fun, but it's not my thing. I don't see myself really doing that. Designer seems kind of cool. It was something I always liked a lot, but again, the same. I didn't finish my career, so I will have to go back and finish it probably. Right. But yeah, working for Riot as a designer or something like that will be super cool as well, I think.
Do you ever get? You said you don't really get too concerned about the future at all. Mm-hmm. Do your family ever come to you and say like, hey, have you thought about this at all?
Yes and no. Sometimes, my mom sometimes told me like you will have to think about the future at some point, but even she's like, but just do. I don't know. She's like, you do what you are doing right now, and the moment you are not having fun, just stop, because she's fine, because she knows I can always. She always told me that if I wanted to, I could do whatever I wanted. So she's like, whenever you're bored, you can just go back and study and do whatever you want to do then.
So your family is pretty cool with you doing all this stuff?
Yeah, they're really happy about it. Yeah.
Hey, was it you who had your mom come to Worlds and see everything?
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
For her, for me, it was weird to have her there. No,
yeah.
Kind of weird, but it's still cool to be there with her. And for her, I think it was a great experience, because she really likes what I do. She doesn't know much about the game, but she still watches every game, even though she doesn't understand it. She watches it, and I think she was really, really amazed by the tournaments themselves, in the stadiums, in the studios and everything, and all the people that was there for us. I remember she did a lot of recording. She was with her phone, and when one day when we were taking pictures with the fan in the door, she will be like recording that for 40 minutes.
Oh, really? Just recording like 40 minutes of you?
She will be just smiling and happy and recording and taking pictures of us, and she had them all recorded. So I think she's really proud of this I'm doing, and she really liked it. Like, she doesn't see it as something weird. She's really amazed by it, especially the final when she watched it and it was a huge stadium full of people. She was like, this is crazy.
Well, that seems like a very good final note. I actually offered Soaz the ability to say something to his fans, and he said it in French, so I don't know if there's anything you would want to say in Spanish here at the end of the interview.
I can say in Spanish, yeah. In Spanish and English, or...
You could just say Spanish.
Spanish.
And as long as you don't insult me in Spanish. Yeah. And then I wouldn't know.
Why did you say that?
I wouldn't know.
Why did you say that?
What, now the temptation is there? Is that what it is? I just thought you'd be nice, like the way you described Cyanide. I thought you'd be polite. You wouldn't insult me in Spanish, and then I wouldn't have to worry about seeing a bunch of Reddit comments making fun of me because they understand Spanish and I don't.
You really want me to do this, don't you?
No, I don't want you to do it at all. That's the whole point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What can I say to them? Bueno. Primero de todo, muchas gracias a los que entendéis español. No sé cuánta gente que hable español ve estas entrevistas, pero eso, muchas gracias por el apoyo y nada más. Dejarle un comentario a diciéndole que es muy feo, insultarlo o algo y poco más. Muchas gracias.
I'm crossing my fingers that there was nothing about me in there. Thank you so much for the interview.
Nothing bad, thanks.
Nothing bad?
Nothing really bad.
Okay, so then there was something about... I did hear something else. Thank you so much for the interview. This has been really fun. I'm really concerned about what just happened. Mm-hmm. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage and my trip through Europe, doing all these sort of interviews and pieces at ongamers.com.